I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon.
These are from our lab in Burnaby in British Columbia. From the outside, they look like giant black monoliths, big metal boxes, about 10 feet on a side, 12 feet tall. And they are powered, they have a fridge inside them, a refrigerator that cools these chips to almost absolute zero. Just a wisp, a fraction of a degree above absolute zero. Hundreds of times colder than interstellar space. Amongst the coldest and most isolated and extreme conditions that humans have ever been able to engineer. These fridges, interestingly enough, which are called pulse tube dilution refrigerators, have a thing called a pulse tube, which emits a sound roughly once per second, which sounds eerily like a heartbeat. So if you have the opportunity to stand next to one of these machines, it is an awe-inspiring thing, at least for me. It feels like an altar to an alien god. They really are impressive machines.
So Kindred is much, much, much more ambitious than D-Wave. And what Kindred is trying to do is build real AI. So what you've heard about AI is not what we mean by AI. What we mean by AI is a software system that can do literally anything that a human can do. Literally anything. And obviously, computers are better at things than people in lots of different ways. So now imagine, not only can they do everything that a human can do, but they can do everything that the best human at any task could do better than them. So imagine there was the mental Olympics of the 100-meter dash, and Usain Bolt is the fastest person. Now imagine that's some kind of a mental thing, like writing a novel or writing whatever. Imagine now that the thing is so much faster than Usain Bolt, like, for example, it's a spaceship, yeah? It's still doing the same thing, but it's doing it so much better because we're limited, because we're people. So what Kindred is trying to do is solve this problem. How do you build machines that are better than people at everything? Now, there's a mental block that we have here when we think about this. Because when you think about that, one of your questions might be, for example, what are the applications of this? So imagine this. Imagine, for $10, let's say, I could build a machine, like a little robot, that had fingers and eyes and all that. And it could do your job better than you, no matter what it is. And I could sell that to your employer for, say, $15 and make a profit, instead of having to pay you $100,000 a year. Now imagine that was true for every single job. So that's what we're talking about here, is a complete and utter transformative change that of the likes of which has never been seen before in the history of humanity, making the Industrial Revolution look like a little tiny blip on the path that humans have taken from when we emerged from the ooze a few billion years ago. We are right on the verge of that transition now.
Thank you all for coming to hear me. And I want to speak today about not the past, not how we got here, but about the future, how we proceed from here. And in fact, I don't think that Homo sapiens has much of a future left. We are probably one of the last generations of Homo sapiens. In a century or two at most, I guess that humans like you and me will disappear, and Earth will be dominated by very different kind of beings or entities. Earth will be dominated by entities, beings that will be more different from us than we are different from Neanderthals or from chimpanzees.
Yes, there are these massively intelligent entities out there, but they're not good, they're not evil. They just don't give a shit about you even in the slightest. The same way that you don't care about an ant is the same way they're not going to care about you. And these things that we're summoning into the world now are not demons, they're not evil, but they're more like the Lovecraftian great old ones. There are entities that are not necessarily going to be aligned with what we want.
It's something that I think is going to be quite important. And there's not, I don't know of a company that's working on it seriously, is is a neural lace. And it's, there's not, I don't know of a company that's working on it seriously is a neural lace. So you know, going back to the AI situation, this is quite an important debate. Like if you assume any rate of advancement in AI, we will be left behind by a lot. And so then we could be in, like, you know, benign, but even the benign situation, if you have some, you know, if you have ultra intelligent AI, we would be, you know, so far below them in intelligence that it would be like, you know, a pet, basically.
Cat, that's what I was thinking.
Like a pet.
Cat,
like a cat. It would be
Elon
like
the
a house
cat.
cat. Yeah, it would be
Right.
like the house cat.
Right.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world, you know. It's just,
Well,
sort of pet.
I've seen the movie, it could be. Yeah.
It could be. But honestly, that would be the benign scenario. And
So house cat is okay.
I mean, I don't love the idea of being a house cat.
Okay.
But